Recently in the Honkai Star Rail community, there's been a bit of a controversy surrounding Jing Yuan and his performance in-game, especially compared to a lot of the more recent limited 5 stars, as well as maybe like some other characters as well. So today I want to go over why people are starting to have these, differing opinions about Jing Yuan as time has gone on since his release, and overall answering the question, is Jing Yuan actually bad in Honkai Star Rail? So, first off, I want to talk about why this sort of controversy, these discussions have been happening. So, recently a lot of players have been saying that Jing Yuan is not good, he's, the worst limited 5-star, and one of the main things that people, especially even when he was coming out, were thinking about was, okay, he's an erudition lightning character, we already have one of those, so, obviously people are going to compare Jing Yuan to that other character, being Serval, and seeing how they perform. And it was actually found that Jing Yuan's damage is not that much higher than Serval's, and because of that, that led to a lot of players, myself included, not wanting to pull for him and not really having a desire to use him immediately. So that definitely is something important to keep in mind. So yeah, just think with the other limited characters that have come out since him, which so far those being in order Silverwolf, Luocha, Blade, and now Kafka, who recently came out. And then next, with those characters in mind, I want to talk about what makes Jing Yuan different from the other limited 5 stars, and also talking about Serval a little bit too, since I think it is valuable to make that one-to-one connection and that one-to-one comparison just based on them both being the same path and the same element. So compared to the other limited 5 stars in Serval, Jing Yuan ends up needing more investment and having a very specific playstyle with him to ensure that you're getting the most damage. Now, when it comes to the investment, you definitely need to make sure that he is running, a good light cone. A lot of people will recommend to run his banner light cone, the one that came out with him, the limited one. And I think, that light cone is obviously his best in slot, but you should still be able to get some good performance out of him without it. And then, in terms of his gameplay, because his gameplay, it mainly focuses around the Lightning Lord. That's where you're going to see a lot of Jing Yuan's damage. And the way the Lightning Lord works is that as you use Jing Yuan's skill and his ultimate, the Lightning Lord will gain some speed increases, and it will get more attacks per action. It starts at 3, and it can get a max of 10. So if you want to be absolutely optimal to get the most out of your Jing Yuan with the Lightning Lord, you're going to want to get his attacks per action for the Lightning Lord to maximum, which will take 2 uses of the skill and 1 use of Jing Yuan's ultimate before the Lightning Lord attacks. So you also do need to build around this as well if you want to have the most damage and not be missing out on any damage. Because if you end up getting a 3rd skill use, for example, which would probably be the most likely thing to happen if you were to overcap the Lightning Lord's attacks, then you're just losing out on damage because that skill could have led to increasing the attacks per action of the next Lightning Lord attack. So that is something that you also have to keep in mind with him. And this also kind of ties in with the investment part, because you're going to want to invest, very specific amounts of speed, because if you make your Jing Yuan too fast, then he's going to get more skills than he needs per Lightning Lord action, and then you're just going to be overcapping and you're going to be missing out on some damage with him, which is just how the turn order is going to go. And, comparing this to other characters, especially, I want to compare it to the other DPS limited 5-star characters, which so far the main ones being Sela, Blade, and Kafka. And, you can run DPS, Luocha, and Silverwolf. Silverwolf is an Eidolon thing. I believe it's E2 or higher. You can start running her as a damage dealer. And then Luocha just scales off of attack, so he can be a damage dealer, but you're mostly going to be using him for healing anyway. But Sela, Blade, and Kafka were just designed to be DPS characters. Their damage, is very different, and also Kafka is a great comparison to look at Jing Yuan's current state in the game because she is also a lightning character. Now, she is Nihility, while Jing Yuan is Erudition, but, now that we have two limited lightning characters, and, both that are DPSs, just seeing how they perform. Now, I haven't had too much, experience with Kafka, or not with Kafka, with Jing Yuan, but for what I've used of Kafka, because I've been doing a bunch of testing recently, Kafka does perform very well, and it doesn't take nearly as much, investment and like really focusing on how you play. Now, Kafka needs a little bit of that when you pair her with like Sampo and Luca, but it's not to the point of if I attack too much, like how you do with Jing Yuan. If you attack too much with your skill, then you're missing out on damage. You don't really have that worry in your head when you're using Kafka. And Blade just does he sacrifices HP, does damage. He's really good with that. And then Sela, every time you kill an enemy, you get an extra attack, which is super cool. So now, to answer the burning question that this video is about, is Jing Yuan actually bad? And the answer to that is no. He's not bad at all. It's just harder to draw out his full potential compared to other characters in the game. Because, you can, like, partially build your Sela, partially build your Blade, partially build your Kafka. You'll get some decent results. You'll probably be able to do, like, a little bit without, like, fully building them. But, like, partially built Jing Yuan is not going to be doing that much because you're not going to be getting everything you need to maximize the Lightning Lord. And going back to the point of Serval is just easier to use. Plus, with her being a 4-star, it's more reasonable for a free-to-play player to get Eidolons for her. Like right now, because I pulled on the Kafka's banner, my Serval is E5. And, having her as a Lightning Erudition character, it definitely lowers the value of Jing Yuan because there's already a 4-star character that is very easily attainable that will have the same role on the team that Jing Yuan would have had. And also, just looking at his design, with the way he has to play the game compared to other characters, it's definitely not doing him any favors, and I can absolutely see, as they introduce more DPS characters, like I know in 1.3, we're going to be getting Imbibitor Lunae, and, so on and so forth. We'll get Jing Liu in the future as well, and whatever other DPSs. Jing Yuan is not looking too good in terms of a long-term, point of view. I don't think he's gonna ever be like bad, unusable, or anything like that. But he's definitely not going to age, I think, as good as some of the other DPSs. I think the best aging character that is currently out so far and will be for a long time is Luocha, just because of his healing and everything. But yeah, Jing Yuan's design isn't doing him any favors, but I don't think he's gonna fall off completely unless they release a Lightning Erudition character that is just flat out better than him. But I am interested to see what you all think about this in the comments down below. But with that, I'm going to end off the video there. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts about Jing Yuan. Now, I haven't used him, as much as some other characters because I don't have him. But, I have looked into it and just wanted to give my thoughts on the current state of Jing Yuan since I know a lot of people are talking about it right now. But if you enjoyed, definitely be sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, all that fun stuff. And I will see you all next time.